of laughter lies in the laughing, not in the search for joy. It's a swallow winging on the wind, it's innocence in a boy. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Joy in the singing, not in the song sung, welcome but never crave. If you think that laughter lies in things, to things you'll be but a slave. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Joy in the giving, not in the gaining, grasp and you'll never sing. You could win the world and still be poor, win peace and live like a king. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Sing when the sun shines, sing when the rain falls, sing when your road seems strange. In a tempest seize the lightning flash and ride the winds of change. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly. Lurulurulero, lurulurulai. Joy will come to anyone whose soul has learned to fly.
Well done.
So we do a reading every week from this book called Rays of the One Light. These are they're weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita, trying to draw parallels between East and West. And this subject is to each according to his faith. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. In the Gospel of St. John, chapter 3, we read, "Everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God." It is a common experience shared by most people that when a person errs, he experiences a desire to hide that error from his conscience instead of holding it up for purification. Error clutches its misdeeds to itself and resists correction, though it is only in the state of purity that we can achieve perfect freedom. It requires an act of will to offer that awareness up to the light and to hold it there until one's inner darkness is completely dissipated. For every state of consciousness has its own attractive power, and the more we allow that attraction to act upon us, the more we attract to ourselves the objective circumstances and experiences natural to it. Our faith is the attractive power of our underlying state of consciousness. Goodness attracts goodness. It takes goodness even to see goodness. Evil attracts evil, and it takes evil to see evil. That is, to take special note of its existence. Whatever there is in you of darkness or light, offer it up to the heights. In the supreme light alone you will find salvation. Accept nothing less in yourself, as your lasting reality. As the Bhagavad Gita says in the 12th chapter, cling thou to me, clasp me with heart and mind, so shall thou dwell surely with me on high. But if thy thought droops from such height, if thou beest weak to set body and soul upon me constantly, despair not, give me lower service, seek to reach me, worshipping with steadfast will. And if thou canst not worship steadfastly, work for me, toil in works pleasing to me. For he that laboreth right for my love of me shall finally attain. But if in this thy faint heart fails, bring me thy failure. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
Hi again. So, that reading is so beautiful to me, especially that last reading from the Bhagavad Gita. Just, I have to hold back the tears, which is why I am going to read from Whispers from Eternity, but not yet. Because, again, very beautiful. So, when I was thinking about this topic, to each according to his faith, it kind of got me mentating and going, to each what according to his faith? I don't know. I mean, maybe that seems obvious to everybody else, but so in going over the reading, it was obvious. To each everything according to his faith. He says, our faith is the attractive power of our underlying state of consciousness. So wherever our consciousness is, that's where our faith is. So many of you have the great fortune of knowing Durga, who was visiting us this past week. And so I told her I'm doing Sunday service this Sunday. Do you have any advice for me? And she said, well, it occurred to me the other day that if we had perfect faith, we'd never worry about anything. And I said, wow, that was pretty deep. Can I just say that and be done? But she said, no. You have to say more. But what she was saying is that if we trust in God, we know that everything that's happening to us, everything that comes our way, everything is for our own good. It's for our growth. It's for our benefit. I know I shouldn't keep looking at my notes, but I have to. And what that made me think of is that we create these self-imposed prisons in our lives. We box ourselves in and say, this is as far as my faith is going to let me go. And what are these prison bars that are holding us in? There are our likes, our dislikes, our fears. And when we have faith, we break down those. And we have faith by raising our consciousness. The more we raise our consciousness, the more we have the faith to say, well, maybe it's my inclination to not like this person or like this circumstance, but God has given me that person or that situation, so doggone it, I'm gonna see it through, and I'm gonna learn the lesson that God's given me to learn, and say, I'm ready for the next one. Bring it on. Maybe not in a cocky way, because I remember being in the ocean one time, and I was getting into sort of this back and forth with Divine Mother and saying, oh, these waves aren't too bad. I'm going pretty well, just jumping over the waves. And it's like, Is that all you got, Divine Mother? And sure enough, she knew exactly what I was getting at. And a big wave just came and, okay, and I said, okay, I got it. Thanks. I know. You have it all figured out. I don't. But what I was thinking is that our likes and dislikes are really great opportunities for us. And especially I noticed this in my life with people who maybe I don't like something about their personalities or just whatever it might be. But they're mirrors. We know this from these teachings, that what we don't like is really a mirror to ourselves saying, this is something I don't like in myself. And the more we dislike it, the stronger a mirror it is. Just as Swami says in this reading that it takes goodness even to see goodness. It takes evil even to see evil. So we can take those hints, and rather than have someone say to us, you know, this is what's wrong with you, we can say, oh, this is what's bothering me. So this is something I need to work on in myself. Because we all know it doesn't work for others to say, you know what, I really figured out exactly what's wrong with you. And this is what it is. It's like, no, that doesn't quite work for me. So, but really when we get those little notices from Divine Mother, we can take it to heart and go, okay, well, maybe I won't respond to that person personally, but I can think in myself, okay, maybe there's something there that is a little clue, is a little hint that I can go deeper, I can get better, I can perfect myself in this lifetime and become like these great masters. During challenging times, difficult situations, I was thinking about contentment and how when we can really learn contentment, it's just like we're saying about faith and raising the consciousness. When our consciousness is high, we can take it. We can take whatever comes and just ride the wave. And there's a beautiful quote from the Bhagavad Gita that I just love. Contentment is his who, like the ocean, calmly absorbs into himself all the rivers of desires. And it goes on to the contrary. But thinking about that image of absorbing into ourselves all these likes and dislikes that can be like little, what's the word? Little blockages where our spine has all this tremendous life force energy in it that we can use, just like in the affirmation, willingness. We can use that energy for success, for happiness, for blessing other people, for loving more fully. But it gets stuck. And we can think of the chakras. You can think of the energy getting boop, boop, blocked everywhere, every which way it goes. But we have this river of energy that if we pluck away those or break away those little dams of likes and dislikes, we have this tremendous force of energy that we can use. It's on the contrary. One whose desires trickle outward is soon depleted of energy. So when we don't have those thwarting cross currents, those traps getting stuck, then we have the energy of the divine in us, constantly to move mountains. So no energy is lost in contentment. We can sometimes think, well, if I just let Divine Mother run my life, then what's really going to get done? Maybe I need to be her channel, which we do, of course. But we get too cocky, like I was saying about bring it on, Divine Mother, I can take that big wave. But, lost my thought. No energy is lost in contentment. So it's not that we're passive. Of course, we have to be we have to be instruments for Divine Mother to work through us. This is going to be in the whisper that's just beautiful. But we can just say, when Swami talks about free will, he says we have the free will to either move towards God or away from him. That's about the extent of our free will. So that's our job. That's all we have to do, is move towards God and say, oops, I was just moving away from God. Let me turn around and go back the right way. And then we have the energy to do it. And we can say, Divine Mother, I know I'm here, maybe in this kind of weird circumstance right now, maybe this challenging situation, because you want me here. You want me to learn something. You want me to grow. You want me to go deeper. You want me to be your perfect instrument. So, yes, life is simple. The spiritual path is simple. All of it sounds really simple. But it really is. I mean, we don't have to get caught up in all the nastiness of life. We can keep going back to, for me, science. The science of it is what makes it so simple. It's like the experience of raising our consciousness. It's like faith can be so abstract. How do I deepen my faith? How do I deepen my devotion? But as I just said, if we raise our consciousness, the faith is there. The faith comes naturally. The devotion comes naturally. It's the natural unfolding of the heart. So raising our consciousness through meditation, through these beautiful techniques that the masters have given us, will take care of it for us. Oh, I wanted to tell a story because with the simplicity thought, there's Yogananda said that life is for our education and entertainment. I was trying to remember this during a class one time, and I said it's for our education, and I know there's another one. I can't think of what it is. And it didn't dawn on me till later that it's for our entertainment too. And sometimes that can be an easy thing to forget because we get so wrapped up in all this stuff and we forget we're supposed to be enjoying life. We're supposed to be in bliss. We're supposed to be happy. I was walking my little puppy collie that some of you know, and we were in the middle of a book study on the Glowing Health and Vitality book, and in that he gives a practice when you go for a morning walk to do this practice of regular breathing. Inhale for 12, hold for 12, exhale for 12. So I'm going to go for my walk and do my exercise. And the point of it, I think, was to increase my awareness. But I was so wrapped up in this practice of I didn't make it to 12 that time. And I'm going along, and I'm just totally spacing out on this breathing. And so I am going by this area, and I hear a flying by my head, and it's like a bumblebee or something. So I finally, I'm walking down the street. and I looked. I thought it was going to be a bumblebee, but sure enough, it was a hummingbird. And I love hummingbirds, and so I was watching the hummingbird, and it is still doing, it's, I think, a territorial thing when it's doing the bzz, bzz, but I've never heard a hummingbird do this. So I watched it, flew up, so high towards the sky. I couldn't even see it. And then turns around and makes a beeline for my head. And when it goes by, it goes, whee! I am not kidding. It was the most amazing thing. And I've never heard a hummingbird say wee before, but it really did. And it snapped me out of that delusion of just getting so caught up in life. It's just like, stop taking yourself so seriously. Look at how much fun I'm having. I'm in this hummingbird, whee! And it was just great. So I think that's an important lesson for us all to remember, just to see life for what it is and pray for help, pray for guidance, and let God do the rest. Let's just give it all to God. As it says, bring me your failure. If you can't do this, and this, I don't care. Just give it to me. Just give me everything you've got. So here's this reading. I might ask Narayan to read it for me. No, I'll read it. But thank you.
I was willing.
Yes. So this is, I was made for thee. I was made for thee alone. I was made for dropping flowers of devotion gently at thy feet on the altar of the morning. My hands were made to serve thee willingly, to remain folded in adoration, waiting for thy coming, and when thou comest, to bathe thy feet with my tears. My voice was made to sing thy glory. My feet were made to seek thy temples everywhere. My eyes were made a chalice to hold thy burning love and the wisdom falling from thy nature's hands. My ears were made to catch the music of thy footsteps echoing through the halls of space, and to hear thy divine melodies flowing through all heart tracks of devotion. My lips were made to breathe forth thy praises and thine intoxicating inspirations. My love was made to throw incandescent searchlight flames to find thee hidden in the forest of my desires. My heart was made to respond to thy call alone. My soul was made to be the channel through which thy love might flow uninterruptedly into all thirsty souls. God bless you.
Though green summer fade and winter draw near, my Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through will.